Okay, so we got a viewer feature here today. This guy is a longtime watcher, supporter of the show. He's one of my few members. I've got, I don't know, 25, 30 members.
Cool.
My member group is not huge.
No, you don't
I'll
really
put it out there.
push it a ton. So.
I'm not that guy, you know. I'm not the guy that's like flogging my membership all the time. Yeah, you like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah.
But
you know,
like and subscribe.
I don't actually care that much who watches and who doesn't. But if you do want to, I do have a membership channel, and then you get access to these things early. And this guy's been subscribed to that since it happened, like since I had that.
Well, so this is from, it says Kitt. It says, I'll keep it simple. Pictures include fresh and after a full year healed, in construction / rough skin exposure jobs with no sunscreen or any real aftercare, fully
so
healed.
Like outdoor construction type thing.
New tattoo excitement wore off. Let's see. 2 layers Panthera triple black, 27 meg mostly, but 49 meg because why not? Decided to extend to the shoulder guy when went for color. That color is only 1 layer, and shoulder cap / armpit are 1 layer. Tried to show the scratches you talked about with only 1 session. Stretch out the elbow. You can see lines of previous sleeve under, but other than that, nothing. My white is only 1 layer. This is far from being done, just taking it in strides and making sure I make the right choices moving forward with the project I'm taking on. You're a true inspiration and have opened my mind to the actual art of tattoos and what's possible. Keep shutting down the doubters.
I mean, I do my best. The thing is like, I think I have, in terms of the shutting down the doubters thing, I think that's my part in that has done as much as it can do, because like my individual message is constantly combated with Remy's getting touch-ups every week. Remy's touching up his body every day. Like I just had my neck touched up yesterday. That's why it looks like this.
Yeah.
I just had these done again. I just had, you know what I mean? Like that is the constant
narrative.
Yeah, that's the constant narrative that surrounds my work.
Yeah, of course Remy's looks good because he's getting it done every week, which isn't true.
Absolute nonsense, and it's pushed by absolute morons, and they should be ignored. But if you're a certain segment of the tattoo community that has already been indoctrinated into this bad logic that this doesn't work, you are predisposed to believing that.
Yes.
Right? Like you're predisposed to taking the side of people who agree with your point already.
Yes.
You're not as inclined to admit you're wrong.
Right.
People don't like admitting they were wrong. So in the case where they are wrong this time, they're digging their heels in, right? And they're making shit up, and they're saying, I'm AI generated, all of my work is photoshopped,
right?
Or I'm being touched up constantly.
Right.
And when all of those things are eliminated, they just say, show me it in 35 years, right? So I think my role in this has done as much as it can do. It's pushed a lot of other people into experimenting themselves, figuring out it does work. I have a friend right now that's doing a full fucking, I showed you it, the yellow on black sleeve.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane looking, right? And it's gonna work.
It looks
it's
cool.
already
It looks
working,
really cool.
and they're not even halfway done.
Yeah.
And it's like there will be enough of it caused because of my example that before long it will be impossible to deny, and then people will say, oh, we knew it worked all along. We just didn't like how it looked.
Craziness.
That's what they go to next. They go, oh, no one said you couldn't do it. They said you shouldn't do it. Oh, no, asshole. I have screenshots of you saying they couldn't do it. Now, anyway, let's move along here because I could talk about that all day.
I like
the hypocrisy of this industry.
P.S. I like this.
I like the Anubis. I do. I think he should come up, like, his face should have kind of come up and rounded here. That's always gonna
No,
be
I
my
like
take.
it. I like it. I like the
That-
position. I like how it follows into the black sleeve. I
That
like
or
it.
no, like, because like I think the soft shading could be harder and whipped out farther, or they could build like a moon behind him
Ooh, a moon.
to cap the shoulder, or
yeah,
a
yeah,
sun.
yeah. I could see that.
Because
That would
like
look
the
cool.
shoulder being empty like this is a big pain in my ass. I do like how it's incorporated into the black sleeve, and I
Yeah.
also think that because the black and the Anubis is fairly dark, it marries well to black work.
I
It's the
think it
same
does.
as like when I had my first back piece, when Lee and I finished doing most of my torso blackout, he went back into the back piece and darkened up all the shading so that it looked more like black work realism. You know what I mean? Like get rid
Yeah,
of the gray
instead of
shade.
soft black and gray, it was more
Yeah.
high contrast.
Yeah, it needed to happen to make it. And even then, he wanted to black the fucking thing out then.
I know.
He's like, I should have put a blindfold on that bitch on your back, Jeff. His words.
I know,
Like,
and he was constantly adjusting her muff.
and he was
you know.
constantly wanting to black it out.
Yes.
But, like, we kept it, so
well,
we
and
had darkened
he
it
was
up.
working around Rick's old sword that he did on you, too. I mean,
Which was nice, but just, yeah, that piece had a lot of issues, and people still love it. Like, people still think I'm crazy for blacking it out. But that's just because they like it's black and gray.
the only one that I really miss is your old chest piece.
Yeah, a lot of people love that one, too.
Rick did such a beautiful job on that soft shading.
Yeah, and then I had him darken that up too because it didn't go with the blackout anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think when you have like soft black gray next to blackout, what ends up happening is like it just washes out the black and gray and it looks incredibly weak.
Yeah.
So like this has enough dark in it that it can stay within this realm. I think though what would be nice is to get something around it to frame it better on the outside up there
Right.
so that it's not just so loose at the top. But who knows? That may all end up working itself out. As I know, he already did more on his torso that he had showed me in a private message a while back. He's got a lot of full color stuff going on in his
Crazy.
ribs and stomach area.
It came
But-
up nice and tight in the armpit, looks like.
No, I don't think so.
But
Could get
there's
in
room for
closer.
a nice piece in there.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it looks like it might be closer than I initially thought in there. It's tough because he's got a bit of a furry underarm.
But it's pretty far in there considering like the armpit. Like most people don't go that far up. They usually break pretty.
Well, people like to think that the armpit is like very, very painful, but the lead up to the armpit on the outside and the inside is more painful than the armpit itself. And like anyone who does all of this, they'll generally come to that conclusion. Like
Yeah.
most people have said that same thing. Well, I found it more painful around the armpit than in the armpit.
Interesting.
The armpit itself is fairly meaty. It's like the same feeling as like the back of your shoulder, but just on the inside of your arm. Right? It's not as sensitive and squishy as the tissue surrounding it. It's very
Right.
dense, like muscular. It feels like it can take a beating, and it heals really quick. Also, people are always like, they're always super like, what do you do about deodorant? You don't.
You just don't.
Just
Not till it's healed.
shower and use cologne. Like, I don't even know why that's an issue for people. I think people think they're going to stink, but it's like most people will understand when you have your armpit tattooed, and you also don't really. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I stink. I don't know. You tell me.
You smell good.
I don't. It's never come up. I've never been anywhere when I've had my armpit tattooed, and people are like, "Dude, what the fuck?"
But you know,
But it's the most common
according
question.
to popular belief, you don't sweat. So
Oh yes, of course. I'm sweating right now. I find it hot in here. My armpits are fucking sticky right now. Like that
Well.
thing says 20. I think it feels like 25.
no, I think you're just toasty today.
Yeah,
It's,
no,
it's cold out in
I
our
still
city
sweat.
today. It's
that
snowing.
that
so.
whole thing has been debunked about tattoos clogging your sweat glands. That's junk science. Like if that was true, every person with a 100% saturation bodysuit, or even at my level, would be dead by now. You can't live if you can't sweat. You just can't. That's
yeah,
not.
You
the
still
thing.
sweat.
Oh yeah.
I see sweat. Sweat happens.
I sweat more than I used to, I would say. But then again, I work out more too, right? So
Yeah, you
I'm
definitely.
a brawnier guy than I once was
Yeah,
too. So
you'd work out way more. So
yeah, this again, like these fresh blackouts, I'm always like, I don't even like seeing them because I see so many fresh blackouts on Instagram. I'm so sick of them because they give people the wrong idea.
Right,
So
they always
I
look
never
nice.
grade any fresh
Ooh.
blackout.
I like how this progressed.
Yeah, the color, the yellow is cool.
It's so vibrant.
It's way better in there, and they did more black shading around him. And I hadn't seen it, like I didn't really look, but like yeah, now they've got that sorted out, so he's better in there now with the black border. And like people will go, why didn't you just go a few pictures down? Well, I'm gonna grade the work as it happens, right?
Yeah, and I also think that the armpit is as tight as I said it was. I think that's like a perfect cutoff, especially if you're thinking about
Now
putting
it's
a
finished.
piece in there.
It's pretty good now. Like that's pretty nice now.
Nice spot to stick your another piece in there. I really like this.
I really think the color works better than black and gray with blackout.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
I like this progression. I love the yellow.
Like I think color is more solid looking than black and gray, so especially because blackout to be correct has to be pretty punched in. Like then you want something else that's going to be punched in too. Soft shades don't really complement like hard black in such a high amount, you know. So I like this so much more with the yellow in here, and like it just show you how much black can pop color too, right? Because like that looks way brighter than it would if it was just next to negative space. Yeah, you can see the issues in the elbow there that like he talked about, but this is a really good first pass. Like this was the first pass I think for the blackout, so some skimming has to happen. And here you see the first pass of the white on black he was talking about, and that looks about like it should for a first pass. You can see some areas are thinner and some areas are thicker of the white, like not the line weight, but like the actual saturation. You'll see more black stripping through some parts than others because it's like it's not a one-to-one. Like white is going to go in, and sometimes it's going to do better in some spots than others.
Right.
And it's hard to even tell why. There's probably a good reason, but like you can see it in the healed, right?
Yeah.
Some of this white has done better than others. Now, anyone that watches this channel knows that I would always say that you should black around whatever white you're doing, right? In this composition, there probably isn't a whole lot of room for that. You could get in there with a really tight mag and black in between all of those things and then do the white, but like that's gonna be pretty fucking tight. And in this example here, the best bet really is just going to be doing this many
Multiple
times.
passes.
Right, because like you haven't given yourself enough room here to do the black on black in between the white on black, and that will make it a thinner result. Also, because people say, well, my blackout was done with Panthera, can I go over it?
Yes.
Yes, you can. I've gone over Panthera black on myself. Like there's stuff over, color over, black over, everything. Like when we blacked out the center of this eye, it was already the last time it was already a black, white, and color on black cover up of blackout, and then we blacked it out again with Panthera, and we've gone over it with more black again, and every color you can think of in that portal on my stomach. That is a multi-layer blackout cover-up, like multiple times over blacked
many
out.
layers.
And so, yes, you can cover any black. There's no black that's too black to cover. People like to think that their black is too black to cover. It's not true. You could cover the blackest fucking tattoo in the world if you wanted to. Yeah, this is a pretty nice blackout.
Yeah, I really like this blackout. I think whoever did this blackout did a really decent job of it.
You can see the things that you would like. These things are the things why I would like. I think I blacked my arms out like 4 to 6 times because I just wanted every crease wrinkled out or ironed out of it.
Yeah.
And but like for most people, they're not going to be that concerned with little things like that, right? Especially if you don't like getting your arm tattooed like you with blackout.
Yeah.
You have little spots that need to be ironed out.
Oh, I will get there. I will get there. Yeah, it's complicated. I really like this is a Panthera blackout, and You always say it doesn't matter what black you use, but I am a really big fan of Panthera black.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
nice.
it is a
Well,
very nice tone of black.
all I'm saying, the only reason why I say is because people will use that as like a I can't do anything over mine because they've heard me
Yeah.
say that my blackout was done with dynamic and the new work was done with Panthera.
Yeah.
You can cover you can cover Panthera with dynamic.
Yep.
I've done it. Like we've
They're
done.
just different.
Yeah, it's like having two different colors of red.
Yeah, I just really like the general tone when I see, and it always depends on a person's skin tone.
Oh yeah,
too.
like Ashlyn's arm looks like silk, and they use dynamic on her.
Yeah, and my arm is done with Panthera, and it is very black. But I also have a olive skin tone.
Yeah,
so.
like there's a great picture that Hood posted years ago. I've referenced it several times. I'll see if I could find it. And it's all black arms he did, and they're all in a circle, and they all look different.
Yeah, because your skin tone really.
Like some of them look bluer, and
Yep.
some of them look grayer, and some are darker than others. And it's just like one of those, and they're all healed, right? And it's one of those really fascinating things to take in because this is Hood we're talking about. This isn't
Yep.
some backyard butcher.
Nope.
This is like one of the best black workers, and he's showing you in that picture. Oh, it looks different for everyone.
Yeah, I'm also kind of
It
curious.
takes some pressure off. I wish
to-
we seen more of that on social media.
Because, like, I'm almost betting, and, like, someone needs to fuck around with this if someone hasn't already. But I'm like, I would say, from what I am observing from a few blackouts, that I would say dynamic black works really well on a light skin tone, whereas Panthera works really well on a dark skin tone.
I mean, I don't know how much, like, it's hard to say. Like, there's a lot of different factors, right? Like,
Yeah.
it'll always depend, too, on who did it. And there's also dynamic triple black. And
Right, I know,
find
I
that
would
has
like-
more of, like, a purple undertone to it.
It would be, I mean, Hood would never do this experiment, I'm sure, but it would be interesting to see.
Well, he'll always just stick to what he does.
Yeah. Yeah.
The black
it just-
workers like triple X, Panthera black.
Yeah. But
It's
I
a
don't
nice
blame them.
black.
I have
It's-
some on my shelf back there.
It's got more of a dark gray than a dark blue base.
Mm-hmm.
It just is what it is.
Yep, I love it. It's,
But all I would ever say is that no, it's not too black to cover.
no, I agree with that.
And that's the only thing I'm saying. Like, I'm perfectly fine with saying, yeah, Panthera black, if you just want a blackout arm, it's probably the best blackout for that. But it can be covered.
yeah.
Because I've had people say that so many times. Oh, but my arms is black. No, it's not. No, stop saying that.
Yeah, you can go over it. Don't worry.
These are different colors. Mm-hmm. It's like how I have the red nebula red. Mm-hmm. And I've got we've got a lot of really red on me,
Yep.
and we've got red velvet on me. They're all red and they're all different. That's the same thing with all these different black inks, and people have a hard time like comprehending that there are different black looks. But like even in the peripheral, just looking around this shop, there are different blacks everywhere.
I always forget how much black is in our shop,
But
too.
there's so many different tones of black. Like look at even
Yeah.
just that pillow versus that bed.
I know. It used to drive me crazy with clothing. But anyways.